Hello friends, let's go behind the scenes and see how this painting was made. Come along. Of course, I start every painting the same, and that's with the pencil drawing. So I usually use the grid to get the pencil drawing down on the canvas. I don't often record that part because it's pretty boring, and it's also hard to see the pencil, the graphite, from a distance unless I have it right up on top. And maybe someday I'll get a better camera system set up. Anyway, for now, I did the drawing for this little Corgi, this prize-winning Corgi. His name is Hank. In fact, Hank here won a costume contest during the holidays that was held for a local Corgi club. And as the winner, his family gets this beautiful portrait of him so they can hang it up in their house and remember how cute and adorable he really was and is. Alive and well, doing great, Hank is. Anyway, you can see here I started this painting by putting down the blacks, the blackest of the blacks, the real darks. Get those down first, and then I'll start putting in some of the other colors. Try to blend a little bit. I use acrylic paint, and so you have to work real fast if you want it to blend and look the way I'm trying to get it, which is some semblance of realism. It's stylized still, it's painterly. At least this part is. But I definitely try to get those darks down first and then blend everything else in. So now you can see I'm starting to work in the browns. And I do a lot of dog portraits, so I'm kind of used to the colors of their hair. This is a popular one. This using burnt sienna, raw sienna, burnt umber, raw umber, putting those colors together to get the right coloring. I also like, when I'm painting, I mean, how cute is this dog? I mean, look at this dog's face. And that tongue hanging out. I mean, how cute is that? So you get to stare at this image for a long, long time. And I'm lucky that I get to look at dogs. I love dogs. Dogs are awesome. I'm definitely a dog person. And it's fun. It's fun for me to work with this sort of subject matter. As you can see, I'm trying to blend in here the different browns together. I kind of work all over the place. I go a little bit over here, a little bit over there, a little bit over here, a little bit over there. That's just the way I've always worked. I can't sit still and just work on one section at once. And I think it's better overall if you see the image from a back. Oh, they're me making some funny faces. Sometimes I play around with my time lapses, obviously. I like to put on a little bit of a show. Speaking of time lapses, I record these at 30 times the speed. So to get 1 minute of footage, that is 30 minutes of work. I think that's the right speed for what I'm doing. You can see how things come together, but it's not so fast that you can't see the techniques. And speaking of techniques, here I'm putting down some light. There's another funny face for you. Just want to see if you're paying attention, that's all. Like I was saying, I'm putting down the base red here. That's going to be at the bottom of the sweater and the antlers. I try to study the image for a while before I start painting, so I get an idea of the entire color scheme. This one was a little bit challenging. The antlers and the sweater do not match. The plaid is different. The antlers is just black and red, and the sweater is like navy blue. There's some whites, there's some gray, there's all kinds of stuff in there. And so what I decided to do was just simplify it and make it the same, so I didn't have to, worry about adding those extra colors. But also I think it just gives some uniformity to the image as a whole. Makes it look better. as a painting, you know, that those two things match. And speaking of painting, if you look at my left hand there, it's holding the paintbrush. Right behind it, you can see a little thumbnail sketch that I did of the image. I always do thumbnails for commission pieces. Make sure that I have an idea of how I want the overall composition to look. And especially when I'm doing the doodled background, you know, I'm gonna add that later. But before I do, you know, where I place the subject on the canvas matters. So you can see I put Hank at the bottom. And those antlers are kind of gonna direct our eye upwards when we start putting in the doodles later. But I'm getting ahead of myself, right? Still working on this sweater. Touching up a little bit on the ears and around the way. There he is, there's Hank all painted, ready to go. Okay, so now, comparison side by side. Now we put the doodles in. Now I doodle with pencil first, and I kind of draw some basic neuro lines, and then I work off of that. Again, I don't have footage of that part because, again, you can't see it. You can't see the pencil. One of these days, maybe when I get 50 subscribers, because right now I think I have 4. Maybe I'll be able to buy a better camera system so you can see the pencil part. There's a lot of erasing, coming back and fixing things in the doodle section. And then once I have that down, then I'll start to go over it with the Posca pens. Okay, and that's what I did in that last segment. And now I'm starting to fill in the doodles with the Posca pen. And you can see the word Hank at the top, right? H-A-N-K. I always like to hide messages in the backgrounds, especially for the commission pieces. I think that's one of the selling points of the commissions, is that not only do you have a piece of a pet or a friend or a loved one, child, spouse, whatever, in the subject, but you also have words that are associated with them in the background. And I think that's really cool. People love to, when you point it out, once you see it, you can't unsee it. And I think that's really fun. Speaking of fun, here's putting the final touch on this piece. And we'll do a long, slow fade out to see Hank, the prize-winning Corgi. Like and subscribe, my friends, and come back for more. I'm going to be doing lots more of these. Peace.